So we were talking about getting a common denominator for all of these guys right here. And we said our common denominator is 20. So I went ahead and just showed you making 20 for our denominator for each one of these. So in order to get from 5 to 20, I had to multiply by 4. And 4 times y is 4. Because remember, what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. To get from 5 to 20, again, I multiplied by 4. So 3y times 4 is 12y. To get from 4 to 20, I have to multiply by 5. So if I multiply by 5 on the bottom, I have to multiply by 5 on the top. And 3 times 5 is 15. Equals, remember there's an invisible denominator of 1 here. So if I multiplied him by 20, then I have to multiply what's on top by 20. So that's how I get 20y. And then to get from 10 to 20 in my denominator, I had to multiply by 2. So if I multiplied by 2 in the denominator, I have to multiply by 2 in the numerator. So 7 times 2 is 14. Now notice, you got to keep all your signs the same. Otherwise, things start going really crazy. So now that all of my denominators are 20, now I can work all of this without any denominators at all. And that was our whole point for getting a common denominator, so I can just wipe them all out and deal with just regular numbers. So now my equation is simply 4y plus 12y minus 15 equals 20y minus 14. So now we're back up to the steps that we were doing up here. Remember, hint, combine like terms first. So I combine my y's that are on the same side of the equation, and I get 16y. Bring down my negative 15 because there's nobody to combine him with, and there was nothing to combine on this side, so I just brought it down, 20y minus 14. So now I'm back to getting my variables on the same side of the equation and getting my constant numbers on the other side. So I need to bring this 20y and get him off of this side, and I'm not going to finish that out for you. I want you to finish this out on your notes. Get 20y off of this side and onto this side. Get this negative 15 off of this side and onto that side. And write your solution at the bottom of your notes. Alright, now we're ready to tackle this word problem over here. Now, again, I keep telling you this, just because it's a paragraph to read, don't look at it and freak out and think you don't know how to do it. Remember, the first thing I said is to figure out what it is you're looking for. Define what your variable is. Figure out what the question is. And now, once you've got that defined, go back and use your word clues to figure out what kinds of operations I'm supposed to do. So, let's figure out, the question is, how many donuts did he buy on Tuesday? That's the question. So, a good variable to use for this would be D. D for donuts. So now let's go figure out what parts we do know. We know we're looking for donuts on Tuesday. So let's figure out the parts we don't know. Jamie spends the same amount of money each morning. So on Sunday, he's going to spend the same amount that he did on Monday. He's going to spend the same amount that he did on Tuesday. Alright, so on Sunday, he buys a newspaper for $1.25, and he buys 2 donuts. And remember, donuts is how much we don't know. And just for the sake of space, I've taken it off the right-hand side and moved it up here. So back to our problem. On Sunday, he bought a newspaper and 2 donuts. We know that the newspaper cost $1.25. We don't know how much the donuts are just yet, but we know he bought 2 of them. On Monday, he found himself a newspaper that was much cheaper, and he only spent 50 cents for the newspaper, but this time he went to the same place, got the same kind of donuts, but he bought 5 of them. So remember, we said that he spent the same amount of money both days. So I can set the equations equal to each other. Now it's just a matter of solving for D. For the sake of time, I combined everything. I didn't show you the steps, but I want you to work the steps, and hopefully you come out with this. So we can see that each donut costs 25 cents. And unfortunately, my software is going to cut me off, so I'm going to have to go to one more part. So listen to part 3 for the solution.